Okay folks, it's time to talk about Joe Rogan's secret little brother, Pete, or as you might know him by his stage name, Peter Dante, famous from his many mini side roles in Adam Sandler movies since the 90s. But why has Joe kept quiet about his semi-famous younger brother? While some point out that Joe also rarely speaks about being related to the singer of The Used, this seems different. You might have noticed lately that Joe Rogan has become a Christian man, no longer drinking or jacking his hog, and this new Joseph is focused on forgiveness and the ways of Jesus, which has led to some shocking developments, including Joe recently having Carlos Mencia on his podcast to bury the hatchet. So maybe this new Joseph has also mended his damaged relationship with his brother. See, apparently when they were young lads, these two were thick as thick boys get. They both had dreams of performing on the big screen. That is, until the young Joe's hair began to thin out. All of a sudden, the two brothers who always went after the same auditions found themselves on unequal footing, with Peter starting to get more and more of the roles Joe believed he deserved. And apparently Joe wasn't able to bring himself to blame his own hair loss, and instead deflected and began to hate his younger brother. Well, sadly, these two went their separate ways after a physical confrontation over Pete landing a role that Joe wanted, with the fight culminating in Joe forcing Peter to eat his own feces. Well, needless to say, these two brothers wouldn't speak again for decades, and when Joe was cast in the 90s sitcom Just Shoot Me, he completely abandoned his little brother for dreams of stardom. But while Joe was first to make it in the biz, his little brother Peter wasn't far behind. You see, in 1999, Peter landed a one-line part in an Adam Sandler movie, and during the filming he was so unbelievably bad that Adam Sandler started to pity him, and changed the character's role to be a total idiot. And apparently Adam felt so bad for this simple-minded goon that he continued to give him parts in his movies as the local failure or a loser. And it's while filming the remake of The Longest Yard that Peter became friends with one Joey Diaz. For a few years, these two were best of friends, until a chance encounter while performing stand-up where Joey Diaz would cross paths with Joe Rogan, who went on to use his money and fame to steal his brother's best friend. And while some claim it's not God that brought these two brothers back together, but rather Peter's avid anti-mask campaigns and distrust of the government. But I found out the sick truth. You see, Joe Rogan took a page from another formerly famous Joe, Joey Lawrence. You see, the famous Lawrence brothers have been through every possible brotherly scenario, including what happens when the top dog goes bald. You see, it's all about chosen delusion. While Joey Lawrence certainly is bald and has had multiple facial surgeries and wears makeup daily, he's smart enough to keep his body count in the forefront of his mind, reminding him that he is in fact cooler than his younger brothers regardless of what the world thinks, because it's all about bag and snatch. And with intelligent mental methodologies like this, Joe Rogan was able to mend his relationship with his long-haired younger brother. But regardless of how these siblings found their way back together, the world is in a state of celebration and rejoicing, and it's even rumored that Joe has talked Netflix into a project for the two of them, Grandma's Boy's Neighbor 3. So it seems all it takes to make it in Hollywood is a little prayer and $200 million. And there's plenty more strange things about Joe, like how he's opened a hip-hop dance school in Austin, or his dark obsession with the band Crossfade. But we'll have to save that for another time. Until then, Joe Rogan, you're a total bitch.